In the early hours of the morning, the parents of Alfie Evans were forced to say goodbye to their son following a 23-month battle to save him. Announcing the death of their only child online, Dad Tom Evans said that his gladiator had gained his wings. Nursery kicks out boy, too, for scratching other kids and his family as lividHe said, "My gladiator laid down his shield and gained his wings at 2:30 a.m. Absolutely heartbroken. I love you, my guy." The little boy had been at the center of a life support fight that saw him granted Italian citizenship so that he might receive treatment in Rome. Last week his battle ended when a judge ruled he would not be allowed to go abroad for further treatment. Here is Alfie's timeline. 2016 May 9, Alfie is born in Liverpool to parents Tom Evans and Kate James, now aged 21 and 20 respectively. December, Alfie is taken to lividHe Children's Hospital after suffering seizures. He will spend the next 12 months there. 2017 December 11, hospital bosses say they are liaising directly with the family after disagreements over his treatment. Alfie's parents said the hospital has applied to the High Court to remove parental rights and withdraw ventilation. December 19, a High Court judge, Mr. Justice Hayden, begins overseeing the case at a public hearing in the Family Division of the High Court in London. The hospital says continuing life support treatment would not be in Alfie's best interests, but his parents disagree and say they want permission to fly him to Italy for treatment. The judge says he will make a decision on what is best for Alfie. 2018 February 1, a hearing begins at the High Court in Liverpool in which lawyers acting for the hospital claim further treatment for Alfie is unkind and inhumane. February 2, one of Alfie's doctors tells the judge there is no hope for the youngster, who is in a semi-vegetative state from a degenerative neurological condition doctors have not been able to definitively identify. Doctor sacked after slapping woman's bottom said she wanted a piece of the pie. February 5, Mr. Evans tells the court Alfie looks me in the eye and wants his help. February 20, Mr. Justice Hayden rules in favor of hospital bosses, saying he accepted medical evidence which showed further treatment was futile. March 1, 3 Court of Appeal judges begin analyzing the case after Alfie's parents mount a challenge to the High Court ruling. The family ask for the appeal hearing to be adjourned for a few weeks so they can discuss the ruling with lawyers, but the judges refuse. March 6, Court of Appeal judges uphold the decision of Mr. Justice Hayden. March 8, Alfie's parents ask for the case to be considered by Supreme Court justices. March 20, Supreme Court justices decide the case is not worth arguing and refuse to give the couple permission to mount another appeal. March 28, judges at the European Court of Human Rights reject a bid from Mr. Evans and Ms. James for them to examine issues relating to Alfie's future, saying they found no appearance of any human rights violation. Fake doctor left woman with a frozen face after botched Botox. April 11, Mr. Justice Hayden endorses an end-of-life care plan for Alfie drawn up by specialists. April 12, protesters gather outside lividHe Hospital as Alfie's father insists he has the right to take him home. April 16, Alfie's parents argue he is being wrongly detained at lividHe and make a habeas corpus application. Judges at the Court of Appeal in London rule against them and again uphold the decisions of Mr. Justice Hayden. The couple's lawyer said they might make a further appeal to the Supreme Court. Merseyside police launch an investigation into instances of verbal abuse and acts of intimidation among protesters outside the hospital. Judges raise concerns about reports that ambulances and staff were unable to enter the hospital and that patients and their families had been frightened. Alfie's parents apologize, saying they did not intend to harm or cause conflict or upset. April 17, Mr. Evans and Ms. James ask Supreme Court justices to consider their case for a second time, a spokeswoman confirms. April 18, Mr. Evans flies to Rome and meets with Pope Francis. He kissed the Pope's hand and begged the leader of the Catholic Church to save Alfie's life. Man hacked pensioner, 81, to death and set her on fire. April 20, the Supreme Court rules against Alfie's parents for a second time, refusing them permission to appeal against the decision. Mr. and Mrs. Evans had been trying to persuade the court that Alfie was being unlawfully detained at lividHe Hospital. The parents make an application to the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg to take Alfie to Rome for treatment, instead of letting him come off life support. April 23, the European Court of Human Rights refused the application made by Alfie's parents, saying, the European Court of Human Rights has today rejected the application submitted by the family of Alfie Evans as inadmissible. A group of about 200 protesters tries to storm lividHe Hospital, where Alfie has been receiving treatment. Police officers blocked the entrance as dozens of people charged at the doors. Teenager finds huge dead locust. In McDonald's chicken legend Alfie Evans is granted Italian citizenship. In a bid to facilitate moving Alfie to Italy to receive treatment, the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs said Foreign Minister Angelino Alfano and Interior Minister Marco Minniti have granted citizenship to little Alfie. The Italian government hopes that, in this way, being an Italian citizen will enable the immediate transfer of the child to Italy. On Monday evening, a High Court judge dismisses new submissions made in private by the lawyers for Alfie's parents via telephone. At around 9 p.m., life support is withdrawn by doctors at lividHe Hospital, according to Mr. Evans. He said in a Facebook post that his son had been breathing for himself since 9:17 p.m. April 24, Alfie was still breathing on his own this morning, according to his father. At 7 a.m., Mr. Evans said, 9 hours he has been breathing now. It's actually come to the point where his mum is asleep next to him. She can actually go to sleep next to him. She feels comfortable with him. April 25, Alfie's parents fail in an 11th-hour attempt to persuade judges to let them move the terminally ill youngster to a foreign hospital. Man caught driving Tesla from passenger seat on M1 gets road ban. April 26, Alfie's parents pledge to work alongside doctors to give the boy the dignity and comfort he needs. April 28, the 23-month-old, who was being treated at lividHe, died at 2:30 a.m., Ms. James and Mr. Evans say on Facebook. Our baby boy grew his wings tonight at 2:30 a.m. We are heartbroken. Thank you everyone for all your support, the post said.